Hello everyone, welcome to the 5-Minute Discovery channel. The world we live in is indeed very rich, with different unique ways of measuring time. Although most countries use the Gregorian calendar in daily life, not everywhere. Some ethnic groups like the Vietnamese still. However, the story of the calendar of Ethiopia surprises us. Here, people do not use the Gregorian calendar like the rest of the world, but they have their own calendar system, special and unique. Interestingly, the Ethiopian calendar is slower than the Western calendar by 7 to 8 years. So why is there such a difference? They live by time. Let's explore this interesting story in today's video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you feel interested and want to learn more about special things.
The Gregorian calendar that we use every day is the calendar system that most countries in the world use today. This calendar was officially recognized by Pope Gregory XIII in 1582. And therefore it is also called the Gregorian calendar. This calendar revolution was designed to fix the discrepancy of the old Julian calendar system, which created an increase in days that did not match the seasons and astronomical events. The Gregorian calendar was created with the main goal of determining the birth of Jesus, taking that as the beginning of the Christian era. To correct the discrepancy, this new calendar dropped 10 days. That is why when the Gregorian calendar was introduced, the first Catholic countries such as Italy, Spain, and France quickly adopted it, while many countries strongly protested. In particular, people in London held protests, holding signs such as, "Give us back 11 days", protesting the loss of these days. Non-Catholic countries, such as England and Sweden, were slow to change their calendars and did not change until many years later. Rest assured, Russia, which at the time was still on the Julian calendar, did not switch to the Gregorian calendar until after the October Revolution in 1917. This change meant that the anniversary of the October Revolution actually fell on November 7th on the Gregorian calendar, even though the event took place in October on the Julian calendar. It was not until 1923 that the Soviet Union was officially allowed to adopt the Gregorian calendar to synchronize with the rest of the world. Thus the Gregorian calendar, despite much reflexivity and illiteracy, eventually became the world's official calendar system, demonstrating that a simple change of mind can cause major upheavals in the history and lives of nations.
While most countries in the world have switched to the Gregorian calendar, one country has remained unique in its own historical system: Ethiopia. Located in East Africa, bordering countries like Sudan and Somalia, Ethiopia is a land of unique culture, where history and traditions have not been influenced by Roman Catholicism or any empire. This control, unlike most Western countries, Ethiopians do not adopt the Gregorian calendar, but instead maintain their own calendar, known as the Ethiopian calendar. This calendar is derived from the official calendar system, and has been maintained for centuries without being affected by changes. While Eastern countries, which are Orthodox, have opposed the Gregorian calendar from the beginning, Ethiopia has shown its preference, refusing to accept changes to integrate with the global calendar. Although many countries have switched to the Gregorian calendar to more easily synchronize with the rest of the world, Ethiopia has kept its own calendar and continues to maintain this unique tradition. The Ethiopian calendar differs from the Gregorian calendar not only in the way it counts time but also in the way it counts years. For example, in 2024, according to the Gregorian calendar that is widely used around the world, Ethiopians are still living in 2016 according to their calendar. The calendar also has differences in the number of months and the way holidays are determined, creating a system. Thus, Ethiopia is an interesting example of a country that upholds traditional values, is not easily swept away by the tide of global change, and affirms that each country has the right to protect and maintain its own history and culture. While most of the world takes Jesus' birth as the night of the beginning of the Common Era, Ethiopians have their own unique way of calculating time, reflecting their own cultural and religious beliefs. While the rest of the world dates Jesus' birth around 1 BC, Ethiopians believe he was born in 7 BC. This means that when humanity began to enter the first year of the Common Era, Ethiopians were 7 years old, and this way of counting. This is just one of the unique features of the Ethiopian calendar. While most of the world uses a 12-month calendar, Ethiopians have 13 months in a year. Specifically, the first 12 months each have 30 days, while the 13th month has only 5 or 6 days. Depending on the year, this 13th month is called Piov, a word of Greek origin, meaning forgotten days in the calendar. This is one of the interesting specialties of the Ethiopian calendar, and this month also plays an important role in the culture and the signal threshold of the people. When the year comes, the month of Piov will have an extra day, similar to February 29th in the Gregorian calendar that we use. In addition, according to the Ethiopian way of counting, every 600 years, the multi-calendar day will create a special day on Saturday of Piyov, when a total solar eclipse will occur. Interestingly, according to Ethiopian history, the people here have known about total solar eclipses long before Western scientists recognized the identity of Christ. The month of Piyov does not only have an astronomical significance but also has a strong religious imprint. This is the month when the Ethiopian people prepare their spirit and await the return of Christ. According to their religious traditions, this is an important time of the year when people come together to pray, to believe in the presence and return of. It is these unique features that make the Ethiopian calendar completely different from other popular calendar systems, and at the same time reflect the independence, autonomy and cultural values of the Ethiopian people. The Ethiopians have a distinct cultural and religious character, one of which is the traditional practice of washing with water. They believe that this action will bring success, protect the body from diseases and prepare the spirit for important holidays. In particular, their festivals are closely linked to the profound influences of the Bible, which can be seen in the holidays and systems. The first day of the Ethiopian week is called Mut, which means first day, commemorating God's creation of heaven and earth. Their historical system begins with the story of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Before they ate the forbidden fruit and had to leave it, after eating and dying, God promised him a code, and according to the Ethiopian calendar, this cycle lasts 5.500 years. In particular, the Ethiopian calendar incorporates a 4-year cycle, each year named after the authors of the Bible. The first year in the cycle is called Zone 2, corresponding to Year 2 in the Vietnamese calendar, named after Saint Matthew. The third year is called Matthew, while the fourth year is called Lucas. Notably, the Lucas year is also the autumn year of the Ethiopians. Thanks to this calendar system, Ethiopian holidays often take place differently from other countries. For example, the New Year in Ethiopia does not start on January 1st like most countries in the world. But instead, Ethiopians celebrate New Year on September 11th according to the common calendar. It is a colorful world where history, beliefs and cultures intertwine, creating a unique Ethiopia.
However, there is an interesting feature in the Ethiopian calendar, in leap years. Their new year falls on September 12th. So, the new millennium in Ethiopia began on September 12th, 2007, the year before their autumn year. This also applies to 2011, when the new year is celebrated. Christmas is an important holiday at the threshold of the majority of Ethiopians. But they do not celebrate it on December 25th like most other countries, but on January 7th according to the Gregorian calendar. This is something anyone who visits Ethiopia will know. Today, Ethiopia still maintains its own calendar. Calculating dates according to their calendar may seem complicated, but it is actually not that difficult. You can research Ethiopian history on Google. In fact, the Ethiopian calendar system also has 365 days in a year like the Gregorian calendar that we are using, with only a few small differences in the way. If you have the opportunity to come to Ethiopia, you will see that the differences in the calendar are just a special part of this country, and if you pay a little attention, you will easily integrate and enjoy the last moments.
Moreover, nowadays, many Ethiopians also know about the Gregorian calendar, the calendar system that the whole world is using. Besides following the traditional calendar, many families in Ethiopia also use the global solar calendar song for convenience in work and daily activities. It can be said that this work is not too complicated. The only difference is that we use the lunar calendar. However, this is an interesting detail that not everyone knows, especially for a remote country in Africa, where there are few. After watching this video, I hope you have a new and interesting perspective on Ethiopia, as well as on this big world. If you have any questions or concerns, do not hesitate to leave a comment below the video. And do not forget to like, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so as not to miss the next videos. Thank you for watching and see you in the next videos.